Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. Today's episode, we're going to be building Monaco into what could potentially be a title-winning side in Season number 1 in terms of us being in charge of Monaco. Season 8, of course, in the save. If you are enjoying the content, give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and go back and watch last episode and see why we decided to go to France instead of Germany for the next part of the Glory Hunter save. With that being said, without further ado, this first part of the episode is to go through what exactly we can do in charge of Monaco and what positions that we need to kind of look at improving on. Firstly, looking at the transfer budget, 139 mil in the balance, 111k on wage. We do have potential some money coming in and people's leaving and stuff like that. So when we go through this squad, just note that we are still waiting to see who is leaving, who wants to stay, and I haven't made a decision on who I'm cutting yet, but this squad's too good for me not to speak about straight off the bat. Secondly, I've already made a bid for my first player. Look, Ryan has been relegated with Brighton and has a 30 mil release fee and only wants to be a backup player here at Monaco. He was the first guy on my hit list. This guy's perfect to bring off the bench and see what he can do. There might be more players that we've seen in the save. I want to manage him at a club level. I think it would be fantastic. But without further ado, I've loaded up the 4-3-3 from Paris 13 Atletico, the one that we used at Newcastle. I'm just going to put it out there, and I'm just going to go into Jonathan David, for instance. John Van Rumest, who is our assistant coach, who, look, is an okay assistant coach, has 13 potential and ability judgment. He's pretty good in terms of letting us know what he thinks of the squad. He thinks anyone 3.5 star is a leading player for France. That means everybody bar our goalkeeper is of a leading level and can push everyone. That's quite scary. Without further ado, I'm going to go through this team and go straight away off the bat. There's one position which I would love to change to the starting 11, and then straight away, this Montano guy, I don't know if he's going to be good enough, so I might end up selling him because he's got a foreign spot here. Leaving, David Rum could be the backup left back. He's pretty good, but there's a left back on my hit list that I want to go for that is French, and I want to get him in because of the World Cup. So there's a guy there. Gollivan's leaving. The Missouri is another one that is pretty good and could keep around, but at 31 worth 26 mil. I want to get him off because there's probably other players I want to get in. Bagmudser doesn't get into any one of these roles at 29, worth 15 mil. Another one that I'm saying straight off the bat, we're going to get rid of, which is fending up more money for me to do. Correa's already leaving, I believe, or he's listed at least. Rodriguez is already leaving, so that's fine. We don't have to speak about that. And then there's the squad. And this team is bonkers. How these guys finished 7th last year, I don't know. We're going to go through the transfer history that they've done because they've made some signings here. Straight away off the bat is Turban. He's wanted at the minute, the Ukrainian international. I have nothing wrong with him. Just at 6'6", don't get me wrong, great keeper to have. For me, is not a good enough keeper for the French league. And maybe is the reason why they didn't have a good season, maybe last year. I'm solely looking at him going, yeah, you're not good enough, mate. He shipped 48 goals and he's not a real shot stopper. So straight away off the bat, don't think he's the guy. I'll take him out of the team just for you guys to have a look at that. That's fine. Everywhere else going forward, if this was the side that I rocked up with just a brand new goalkeeper and we didn't cop injuries, not too bad, because very similar to what happened when we moved to AC Milan, it's yet again that the team lacks depth. But I know who I'm going to go for. Vanderson's vice captain. Have a look at him as a complete wing back on support. I know he's 28 years of age, which is his prime, which is fine. Crossing, first touch, can pass, can tackle. His positioning and, marking and that maybe a little bit suspect. But going forward, this guy is the bee's knees. I can understand why they probably ship goals because when they play PSG, Mbappe probably kinds and tracks over to Vanderson. But that's fine. Very good player. Victor Nelson, out of this level, a leading centre-back. He's fantastic. Very powerful, reads the game very well. For me, what prefers to play as a covering centre-back. I ideally prefer covering centre-backs that are a little bit more quicker, but he wants to play that role because he's someone that is like, hey, I read the game very well. He's definitely someone that I would start, definitely someone that I would use. Very, very good. Considering I've got alongside him a 30-year-old Bosnian international in Angel, I have no intention of letting this guy go. Heading, marking, and tackling of 14s and 15s, passing of 15 as well. Is very good on the ball as a ball-playing defender, mentally so switched on, and is physically a monster. I don't know why you would move him on just now. first 2 years here, I think he's staying. Same with Pellegrini. At 30 years of age, don't get me wrong, I could go after maybe a younger fullback, and I am going after a younger fullback that's French, but I've used this guy on so many saves. He is so good at getting up and down. In terms of a back four, that kind of fits very similar to what I did at Newcastle. I've got 2 fullbacks that can play the roles, and I've got 2 centre-backs that are very good. Cannot wait to use that. Now, Quinton Timber is a wonder kid on most FM saves. I've seen him go to Man United and grow into a monster, everything like that. The only reason I've gone deeper line playmaker on support is he loves to run with the ball, and I don't want to limit him to not running with the ball. So I've actually gone slightly different in my midfield 3 roles for now, but I might change it to a deeper line playmaker and defend. Timber is a deeper line playmaker on support. Stiller is a centre mid on support. Could be a box to box. If you remember, I actually started with Bellingham as a centre mid on support, moved to box. I just feel like as a box to box, don't get me wrong, this guy is very, very, very good. But in saying that, 11 long shots, not the greatest going up and down with lack of speed. So I think actually saying hold in the middle of the park, be that centre mid on support. If it's there to go forward, go forward. He's a very combative midfielder. I'm almost thinking that maybe you almost go Timber as, and I know this might sound crazy, as a regista nearly, and say you get up and down, you dribble the ball, you do what you want, and actually get Stiller to play as a Carrillo. That's what I'm thinking at the minute, but very good midfielders nonetheless. Then Martin Batruna is elite. I didn't realise how good he was. Dribbling, finishing, dribbling, first touch, technique, passing ability, flair, composure, anticipation, agility. He's very similar to Roman Tisney. Similar, not quite Roman Tisney, but similar, elite. Croatian international, 26, in his prime. Get players around him, fantastic. That midfield 3, if we get the right roles, is going to be bonkers. There's a world maybe I play Timber as a box-to-box and I play Stiller back a line. It may be something that we do. Maybe it is something that we go like this. We go Stiller like this and we go deep line, playmaker, defend, and we might get Timber in as the box-to-box is something that we might do. Or as the centre mid on support. I might actually go this way now with it and allow Timber to be that one that gets a little bit more up and down, because this guy loves to run with the ball. He's fairly better than getting forward, just can't finish. I don't know. It's a position where I've got 2 really good defensively minded centre mids and 1 aggressive, where I'd rather have someone that's very well rounded at what they do. Without further ado, though, let's go into Skov Olsen. This is a guy that I have a lot of time for in real life. He's fantastic. He's an inverted winger. He's elite. He's very well-rounded. The only thing I will say at 29 years of age, it's now a nether for him. I think he's fantastic. Definitely not going to get rid of him season 1. Pulisic is our best player. They picked him up here from Chelsea a while ago in the save. He looks fantastic. And Jonathan David. I can play naturally across the line. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very consistent. He only scored 8 goals last year, but he's not too bad. With that being said, Enchema's on the bench, can play across the 3 and up front, but I think Soler would be our backup. Boy is someone I want to use. Don't think he gets in on merit now, but he's someone with speed, physicality, Soler as well. See what I'm trying to get at here? If I sign Roman Gubert, who I am scouting, if I get them free, all of a sudden I have got 3 guys, and if I sell Enchema, that have got 16 plus pace to come on in the 70th minute to blitz things. I'm happy with that. That's fine. He's obviously going to play a part. Riddell could get into the starting 11. He's a pretty good centre-back for the level, but a very good backup. Same with Gala Sarr. And again, at the level. So straight away, you're looking at this team and go, what do you really need? You need a starting 11 goalkeeper, and then you need a backup right back, a backup left back, and a couple of backup centre mids, and maybe a backup winger. Straight away you go, oh, okay, that's actually not a bad spot, especially if we get the younger variety. And yes, I will be going for the French national team squads in terms of under 20s, 19s, whatever. And whatever I can find, I'll be looking to sell, I'll buy, for sure. And with that being said, that's your squad. It's a very good one. The midfield roles are something that I might want to change around. It may be the case that maybe I sell on a Stiller if I get a really big bid, or I sell on a Timber if I get a really big bid, even though I don't want to buy it out and out box-to-box midfielder. But at the moment, these guys look nuts. If that's my squad, we're in a really fun position, and we definitely made the right choice to join AS Monaco. Next part of this episode now, after this breakdown, is who do we sign, who do we go after? And I've got some names in mind. I'll see these guys on the flip side. YouTube, only the 7th of July, and bulk of the work is done. And, let's just going to go through quickly recap. I'm actually running about 5 minutes later than I normally would for work. But, look, this needs to be filmed now because I'm very, very, very excited. So, with the squad, we have filled out this bottom half. We do have a goalkeeper, which, if you guys have been watching the save, you know who this is. And, let's just go straight through the history about what I've done because that's all me. We're going to go in order. And we're going to have a look at the sales, of course, as well. Patson Daka went out for 45 mil. I had nothing to do with that. I don't care. But I sold Christopher, as I mentioned that I would, to Ali Ul-Hattad, who took 3 of my players for 20 mil. They then signed Nazuri Mazuri there, who was not bad, but a 31-year-old for 18.5, and Angelo Carrera, who was on massive wage, for 750k. But let's go in order, see what we can do. You guys know all about Ryan, and he got relegated at Brighton. He's got 3 goals and 2 appearances for me for France. He's going to be someone I use. We needed a keeper. We saw this guy and we were tempted to bring him into Newcastle. Decided against it because we're like, we'll bring him in later in the save where we really need him in. Goran Markovic, who of course took Norwich to an FA Cup win and then a Europa League win, has left Norwich for big money to come to me. 43 mil, but look at his transfer value joining me, 155 to 173 mil. We've arguably one of the best shot stoppers in the world and one of the best keepers in the league. I don't even know if he's part of the league positions here. If he's the best keeper, probably be still Donnarumma. It is still Donnarumma, but that's fine. Some are still predicted to come third, which makes no sense. But there we go. We then signed Roman Galbert. That is correct. Roman Galbert is in to come and play for AS Monaco. He had an outrageous year last year for me at Newcastle after picking him up. 24 goals in all competitions there, 12 in the league with only 14 starts. The best part is because the French league's a little bit less than everything else, he has got leading League One current ability with a bit of more potential. So at the minute, I've actually put him up front. I've actually moved Jonathan David out to the other side, and Skov Olsen at the moment will be a backup winger for us because I think Roman Galbert, World Cup coming up, with that speed and ability, get him starting, and we still got obviously other options off the bench there in Soler as well. Warren Zari Emre. I've never got this kid to hit his potential. He still has world-class potential at 23 years of age. He probably will never hit world-class potential because PSG just always mishandle him. They never let him out on loan. They never do anything. I've got him on loan. It's cost me 2.6 mil. He's here for the next 2 years. PSG are paying half his wage, and I have an optional future fee to buy him for 53 mil if I wish. I actually think with the squad that we have, in 2 years, I could be done. So it's half the wage, could get the job. If he develops over the next 2 years, he's going to be fantastic, but a very good backup nonetheless. As a 2.5-star player at the moment, he's a good League One player. But if he hits that potential, he's going to be nailed on in my French World Cup squad. So I think it makes a lot of sense to bring him in. And lucky last, the guy that you guys know is Pablo Torre was released by Barcelona. He played 12 games from last year, 7 starts, 5 off the bench at a 6.96. Went to OJ Nice and had an okay time of it. Spent a lot of his time at Barca, always playing for him, loaned out to Southampton as well. Never had a fantastic loan spell, but a player that is a very good League One player. Loves a big game, very consistent. And when you have a look at a backup attacking midfielder, right, to come in and do the job, I'm in love. He's got flair, he's got vision, he's got passing, he's got first touch, he's got dribbling. On a free, and only wants 55k a week, but everybody else wants massive money, is huge. Now, last little bit of the episode is that I'm still not done. We still probably need to sign at least another midfielder and a right back. And then we're pretty much done. That squad here is pretty well class. I'm tossing between 2 guys. It is really, really hard. I'm going to show you both, and one of them you're definitely going to know. One's a regen. All right, I'm going to start with Martin. 6 mil, it should be a slam dunk. Yeah, he's got passing, he's got technique, he's got vision, he's got first touch, he's got dribbling. He would be a very good advanced playmaker on attack. He could also play on the other side in here as well, as a deep line playmaker, centre mid on attack, roaming support, a roaming playmaker on support, because of the vision and the teamwork. He's well-rounded physically and mentally. This is a kid in a couple of years that is going to be the creme de la creme, right? And he's going to be fantastic. And I can build a partnership with him to move him to a different club down the track. Only reason we're speaking about this is this guy's available for 6 mil. Goretzka still is unreal. Yes, lacking speed, but has great technicals and great mentals. He wants 155k a week to move here, only on a 1-year deal. But in a 1-year deal, this guy could start and this guy could win us the league by himself by getting 15 goals in the middle of the park. That's how good he is. You guys let me know in the comment section what you guys would have done. I'm in two minds. I'm going to go to work and think about it. I'm leaning Goretzka because I reckon this squad is here for the now. Thing is I would start him and Timber would go to the bench. And that means I would reject the 16-year-old because I've already got all my midfielders sorted with Pablo Torre coming on a free. In saying that, though, is there a world where I use him at right back? I just don't think he has the speed and he's too good going forward. And, you know, at 150k a week, yes, we have the money here. Yes, because of my sales, I'm still got plenty of money in the kitty. I think that, you know, for 6 mil and way less money and an 18-year-old that could potentially outgrow Goretzka and someone that we could use going forward, I think maybe we give Goretzka a miss and go down the regen route because we could also build up a partnership for later in the save. But I'm going to go to work and think about it. I've messaged my mate Paul, see what Paul wants to do. Links down below to our podcast, by the way, about Premier League. But yeah, look, squad looks good. Those are the players, still apparently predicted to finish third. If you have a look at that, they reckon that we're going to play Toure over Quinton Timber, or Timber back to centre-back, and Stiller with Bartuna, and then Pulisic, Jonathan David, and Galbert. I agree with the front three. I don't agree with the midfield. I think Quinton Timber needs to play in there, and that's very harsh on Victor Nielsen, who is a fantastic centre-back as well. So that's what we've done. I'll see you guys on the flip side for the last part of the episode when I come home from work tonight, where we'll make a decision on Goretzka, and we still need to buy a right back. I've got a couple guys in mind. There's a Frenchman. He's worth 30 mil. We might go after him, even though he's a little bit underwhelming, just because he's French, but we'll see what we can do. YouTube, home from work, enjoying some dinner, and then AC Milan make a bid for the kid that we're going after from Argentina. I do not hold any ill will to Martin Funes, to be fair, to choose to go to AC Milan over me, because it's AC Milan and we built them into being one of the best teams in the world. He's not their hot prospect. This guy they picked up after I left is their best prospect. But what that means is we didn't get him for 6 mil. AC Milan did. So guess who he signed instead? Yes, Leon Goretzka officially has signed for Monaco. So at 34 years of age, that is your third choice midfielder. And the team's starting to look in very good shape, which is fantastic. I actually just made a signing that I need to show you as well. Where is the keeper? I just signed the keeper, did I not? Or is it not gone through? Okay, there it is. It hasn't gone through. There it is. Here's the guy that I need to show you guys. Is Chanel Mandanda. Now, no relation to Steve Mandanda, unfortunately, but he's dubbed the next Hugo Lloris. At 17 years of age, has got that good to decently leading potential in Ligue 1, which means he would be a pretty good French international goalkeeper. Been capped at the under 20 level, a lot of 13s, fairly well-rounded, 6'3", okay physicals. What it allows me to do is get rid of Denali, who is the backup keeper and currently got a bid on, because he's foreign, leaves me no foreign spots, which means if I want to sign some foreigners later on in the save, we definitely can. Which means when we go and bring him into the senior squad, like so, he moves into the bench here for Matheus Donelli, and when you have a look at the team, it's pretty good. You know, don't worry about the front three. It's because we've got a couple of people away. Believe they've got some sort of competition on in South America. But yeah, as you can have a look, we're starting to fill up this bench fairly well as well. You know, if Pulisic and Jonathan David were back in, they would be starting, and then Galbert would go up front, and Soler, who I think could be starting up front by the end of the season, could come in, but he goes to the bench, and you're looking at that team and you're going, okay, Damien, what do we really need here? You know, what is the player that we really need to get? And, well, when you bring everybody into the team, which I'm about to do for you guys right now, as Jonathan David goes into there, when you have a look at the team, it is pretty clear we need a right back. I already have my guy in mind. Welcome when he eventually decides to sign Pascal Lefebvre. I'm just going to call him Pascal because it's a great first name. The Frenchman obviously came through the French at Monaco, so he's homegrown here. Well, Monaco's holding the Dortmund, who's holding the Stoke. I'm bringing him back. Monaco, homegrown, for me. Eventually go back into Europe. We're already in Europe this year, so that counts there too. 30 mil of spending. He's eventually going to say yes. yet again, he has that potential that if he hits it, he's going to be one of my nailed-on players for France in the future. And if we don't win the World Cup this year, I need to do enough to keep my job, which hopefully I will, which allows me to then hopefully win the Euros again or go really deep in the Euros and try and win the World Cup the 4 years later. But with that being said, great marking ability, decent amount of passing ability as well. They're both pretty good, decently well-rounded physicals. There's enough about him that with enough game time, there's going to be some really good stats, some really good physicality, and he might grow into a very decent fullback. As a backup, yes, 30 mil is a lot of money, but when you got still 106 mil and 199k in the budget, I'm very happy with that as well. That leaves the team in a very good position if you put him in there. It means we've got an absolute starting 11. We've got all these players here. Nemchena rejected a contract at Fulham, so he might stick around. We need to still sell Turban as well. But outside of that, the rest of the team is in a very good spot, and it means that I have got a pretty damn good squad for France. I've got a team that, when I look at it, is pretty fantastic. I don't know what I've clicked on here, so there we go. Apparently I clicked on someone by accident. When you have a look at it, we've got a pretty good back four, a very good keeper, that's only going to get better, a pretty world-class midfield three. If I move Goretzka into there for Timber in the more games where we need to be more defensive, and then Timber will start as a centre mid on attack in the games you want to be more aggressive in. Then you got Pulisic, you got Jonathan David, and you got Galbert, who is an absolute pace machine. And then if you have a look at the bench, you got Skov Olsen, who could start and move Jonathan David up front. You got Boyer and Ryan Soler, who are going to be, if they hit their potential, world-class in the French national side. You got Emery, who's fantastic. You got Pablo Touré, who's on a free. You got Goretzka, who's only 6 mil and still world class. You still got David Rum here at left back. He's still here for now. I may keep him, may not. He's worth 28-30 mil. If I was to sell him, there's a guy for 59 mil that I want from Sevilla that's French. Only problem is he probably want to be first choice, and I've got Pellegrini, so maybe not. But look, if you look at him, he's pretty okay there, David, as a backup as well. I don't want to cut everybody out this squad, but look, as things are saying, here on the 11th of June, bar the right back, which is Pascal, I think we're pretty much done with the business. And saying that, though, I will continue to keep scouting, and if someone world-class does come about, or someone that we think is really good and too good to pass up comes about, we will definitely look to sign. But in terms of the episode, in terms of building the crux of the side that is going to battle with PSG for this title over the coming years, that is your episode. We have signed some big name players. We've signed people that you know. We have got a great squad in. We've spent 108 million, soon to be 138 million. We've sold 93 mil of that as well. And with that being said, I think we've done some really good business. Let me know who you think your favourite signing of this episode was down in the comment section below. Give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys for the opening day of the season, which is against, of course, we've got a Fabinho and a testimonial here. Opening day of the season against Strasbourg, and already penciled in the next episode will be PSG in September, away in the league. Till then, I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching the episode. Do give it a subscription, do like it, do leave a comment, and thank you and goodbye.